I'm Ray O'Toole. I'm the Executive Chairman of Stagecoach. I've been with the board since 2016 and I became Chairman of the board in 2019. As you know, we operate nationwide. We're a large part of a lot of communities. So we've been with missing persons for the last 2 years. We've issued over 100 million tickets with their phone numbers on. And bear in mind, we actually carry in excess of 500 million people a year.
I'm Jo Yule and I'm the Chief Executive of the national charity Missing People, and we're delighted to have this partnership with Stagecoach, having the helpline number. It's our national free phone helpline number that's available from 9 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night every day of the year on all of the tickets that you're issuing to all of your customers. And I think for us the partnership shows the care that Stagecoach gives to their customers, and for us as a small charity providing something quite unique for people that are missing and in crisis.
So Jo, we've had the partnership now for a couple of years, and it'd be just helpful to hear from you about what do you think it's done for missing persons and what are the things we can learn from it.
I think it sends a really powerful message to people that as an organisation you care about the people that are using your transport network, your buses. And for us at the charity, knowing that when people go missing they're often in a real crisis and feeling very vulnerable. They don't always decide that they're going to go missing, but they might get on one of your buses and not really know where they are going, but just trying to get away from a situation that doesn't feel safe in or that they're deeply unhappy in. And so for us, the thought that they get on and they get the ticket and there's our free phone number on the back of that ticket and they're sat there with it in their hands in their hour of need, and sometimes that will reach people when they're thinking of going missing. So for us, a call like that through to our brilliant team at Missing People might mean the difference with them not going missing. I mean, there's 170,000 people go missing in the UK every year. So that's 100,000 adults and 70,000 children, and you know that they're all using your transport network, but they don't always know that there's a charity there for them.
Yeah, and I think we feel exactly the same, Jo, because what we can say is we've lived from real life experiences from our bus drivers that they've met these people.
Yeah.
And to have access to them now in terms of having a phone number, it's almost like a ticket to a new life almost, and can relieve a lot of stress and anxiety that they may have. So I think from our perspective, us being able to be part of those broader communities and to be able to support them in not just providing them with a bus journey, but obviously providing them with a support whenever they need it, which is one thing I'm really keen that we bring out of Stagecoach, which is why we're enjoying this partnership.
Yeah, because you're in the heart of communities, aren't you? Up and down the UK, yeah. And you know, missing's something that can happen to anybody. You know, people at the moment we know are facing a cost of living crisis and literally worried about how they're going to buy food to live. And that is pushing people to the brink in some cases. People feeling really desperate, really vulnerable, maybe thinking that their family would be better off without them. So to get on one of your buses, to see that there's a service that's there for them, or speak to one of your amazing drivers, because we know that your drivers know their communities and they have spotted people on your buses that they know are unhappy for some reason.
I am Jo. I've been a driver at Stagecoach now for 12 years. I can remember going back a couple of years ago, we had this incident where a young boy pulled me over. He put his hand out, bus pulls over, gets on the bus, asked me which way it was to Piccadilly. So I said, it's that way, just pointed. And as he went to get off the bus, I said, where are you going? He said, I'm walking to Piccadilly. Now this lad was about 8 or 9. You just get a feeling, you think, something's not right here. So I said, just get on the bus, and I'm going to Piccadilly. So he sat down at the bottom of the bus. Next thing, about literally 2-3 minutes later, there's a call out on the radio with a description fitting this young boy I'd just picked up. So basically, I put a call in. I said, I've got this lad on my bus. It sounds like him. He fits the description. So by the time we got to Piccadilly, fortunately, there was the police officer and the inspectors, and it was actually a boy that went missing. So I think it's a really good idea that Stagecoach are actually supporting this and actually putting it on the tickets. So 100% behind it as a driver.
The youngest person to call us from a bus ticket was a young man aged 16 who had been made homeless. He'd been thrown out of his family home. It was quite an abusive environment anyway, and he knew that one way or the other things would just disintegrate, and they did. And he got on a bus and just sat there watching the stops go by until the bus driver and the passengers spoke to him. Could see he was a bit distressed, and he was a young man, and they were able to point him to our number on the ticket.
We're actually in Manchester today,
Yeah.
and during the period we've had this this partnership going forward, from August 22 till July 23, we've had 153 people being reporting into the missing persons line.
Yeah.
How does that compare to what it's like nationally? Is that a higher number or a lower number?
I mean, I think as a direct result of Stagecoach putting our helpline number on the tickets, we've had more calls through to our team. We don't have the resources to do huge marketing, but people have seen that number and they've called through, so we've supported over 150 people who are in a crisis, who consider themselves missing at that point in time.
And I think finally for me is this is a fairly young partnership. It's only been going a couple of years, and we'd like to think it's going to go for a lot longer. So my call is to the business, all our people that work for us, if you can think of any really good strong ideas and ways of working that can support the National Missing People charity, we would really welcome that. So please just let us know.